Okay, homework 4. The first one is asking you the perimeter of the rectangle is this at the right is 112 centimeters. And they're asking you which one represents the equation for it. They ask you also to solve for x. So if this side is 2x minus 7, the opposite side is 2x minus 7, and the same goes with this one. So if I'm talking about perimeter, is I have two sides that are 2x minus 7 and two sides that is 4x plus 3. And that equals to 112. Now, to solve this, I would first divide everything by 2 because they both have 2. So I can divide this by 2, I can divide this by 2, and since it's equation, I'm going to divide this by 2. So I'm going to have 2x minus 7 and 4x plus 3, and that equals to 56. Okay, combining like terms. I got 6x and I have negative 4. I'm going to add 4 to both sides, and I'm going to have 6x equals 60. So x, oops, I'm going ahead of myself. X is 10. They didn't say to find the side, so that's all of it I have to do. So my equation is the answer is C, and if you solve it, the answer is x equals 10. Okay, write an expression for the area of each rectangle. Well, the area is base times height, or height times base. It doesn't really matter which way you multiply, but it's 11 times 3, which is 33. This one, the difference is base times height is that the height has a variable, but that's okay because 11 times 3 is 33, and we just have x over there. Okay, we have equation y equals half, 1/2 x minus 4. 1 over 2 x minus 4. And the first thing is they want me to find x-intercept of this without graphing. So I put it on a separate piece of paper. X-intercept means when it intercepts with x-axis, so that means y will be 0. So I'm replacing the y with 0 for my equation, and I'm solving it. So I'm adding 4 to both sides because I want to get x by itself. I multiply by 2 to cancel the fraction, and I need to multiply the other side, and that it's going to be, answer is x equals 8. So x intercept of this equation will be 8, 0. That's the point. Okay, the next one is make a table and a graph. So the table, guys, we already learned if this is the beginning, that means x is 0. That's a y-intercept. So I'm going to put it right here with the 0. And I know the change is positive half. So that means every time I go to positive direction, I'm going to add half, or 0.5. So I got negative 3.5, 3, negative 2.5. Now if I go to negative direction, I'm going to subtract negative half. So for negative 4 minus half, that's going to be negative 4.5. So I go minus half, and so on. Okay, and graphing it means I'm just going to plot the points. So I'm going to start with point 0, negative 4. I also learned that my point is 8, 0 for x-intercept. So I already have 2 points. I could probably connect it and extend it. But if you want, you can just plot the other points and make sure your line is more accurate. Okay, and the last problem on this page is asking you, how do you can find x-intercept on the graph? Well, x-intercept, like I was telling you, is when the line intersects the x-axis. So that's the point. So if your line intercept x-axis, that's a x-intercept, and if it intersect y-axis, that's a y-intercept. Okay. Next, how can you find it on the table? Well, You have to look at where the y is 0. So you'll have to look at this side and look for 0. And that's how you're going to find x-intercept. It's not on our table because my table is not long enough to do this. So we'll have to extend this table a little bit longer. Okay, and now the back of it is asking you for reasoning. So when it rains, Andrea's flowers close up. Okay, and then they're telling me Andrea's flowers are closed up. Okay, what does that mean? It means it's raining. So they're saying the reasoning is correct. I could argue a little bit because it might be a nighttime where the flowers also close, but they didn't include that. So from those two pieces of information, reasoning is correct. The next section is about solving equation. Well, there's two ways, and it's a little bit easier sometimes to think about fractions and change the other side into fraction also, because then you can cross multiply. So if you have any number that doesn't have denominator, you can always put it over 1, because 6 divided by 1 is just 6. And then I will cross multiply. 1x is just x, 3 times 6 is 18. I'm done. Same with this. I'm going to put it over 1 and cross multiply. I put it in parentheses because if this number is not 1, I would have to distribute it. But since it is 1, I just keep it the way it is. And then 2 times 2 times 12 is 24. Take away 9 from both sides. Divide by coefficient of x, which in case is 5. My answer is 3. Again, cross multiply. 6x equals 36 divided by 6. X is 6. Cross multiply. 20x equals 40 divided by 20. X equals 2. Okay, and a little bit of probability with our polygons. So the first question, we have Sandy and Robert. They have different polygons in their buckets and they're picking randomly something. So the first one, what is the greater probability of selecting quadrilateral? So I mark, this is a quadrilateral for sides and this is a quadrilateral for Sandy. So Sandy has a probability of 2 over 4 because she's got 4 total. So her probability is half. Now Robert has 3 quadrilaterals, trapezoid, kite, and quadrilateral, 4 sides. But he has total of 5 polygons in his bucket. So his probability is 0.6 if I divide 3 by 5. So 0.6 is higher than half, so Robert has greater probability of selecting quadrilateral. Okay, who's got a greater probability of selecting equilateral polygon? Equilateral means all equal sides. Square has equal, all sides equal. Equilateral triangle, rhombus is just like a square, kind of, if it in terms of sides, all sides are equal. And regular means all sides are equal for the hexagon. So really all of her polygons are equilateral. So her probability of picking one of any of them is going to give you the right choice. So equilateral triangle. So she's going to pick any 1 out of 4 will be still equilateral. So her probability is 1. Robert, on the other side, he doesn't have any equilateral polygons. None of them are equal sides. So his probability of picking one of them is 0, and he has 5 of them. It doesn't really matter because 0 divided by 5 is still 0. And the last problem is asking for parallel for Sandy. One pair of parallel sides. So square, rhombus, and hexagon. So her probability will be 3 over 4. 3 that parallel lines and 4 total. Robert has only, Robert has a different one. Robert wants 2 sides equal. So 2 sides equal means isosceles, like 2 congruent sides. Kite has 2 congruent sides. and right isosceles triangle also have two congruent sides. So his probability is 3 over 5, which is 0.6. So 3 over 4 is 0.75, 3 over 5 is 0.6. Sandy has a greater probability of picking up the shapes that she needed to pick up. Okay, that was homework 4, guys.